Welcome back to BOOKMAS Day 4, and I'm doing something a wee bit different today. Something that's massively out of my comfort zone. So I am obviously, I'm messing up already. Basically, I want this video to be a point and shoot video with no cuts and no edits. And I'm going to choose this video to talk about some things that I want to maybe do differently in my bookish side of life next year. But I've seen a few people do these kind of unedited videos in short form. I'm really interested to see if this could work in long form. So I'm on the school run, I'm in my car, I have no makeup on, the lighting's awful, I don't know what the sound's going to be like, but I just want to kind of sit down and chat like we are best friends. So there are a few different things that I want to do this year for this upcoming year, and this is kind of, I'm constantly striving to be a more educated and better reader. I want to pick better books. I want to be really mindful of the authors I'm supporting. I want to read more diversely and with more care, and this is a forever growing goal. I don't think there's an end post for it. I think every year I just want to get better. So there are a few ways that I'm thinking of doing that this year. The first one is to drop my reading goal. I usually attempt a reading goal of about 100 a year. When it comes to the end of this year, even though I probably will hit that, I'm going to be looking at dropping my goal down to about 50. If I read more, that's fantastic. But the reason I want to drop it to 50 is because I think I want to try and start truly annotating. Now, something I've often done when I'm reading is voice note. I voice note myself. I have like a folder with voice notes in, and if anything particularly profound comes along or has an impact on me, I will voice note myself and add that in and kind of go back and listen to that sometimes. But eventually they just disappear and I never listen to them again. And I really do love the concept of annotation. And the whole reason that I've never really got into it is because I don't like how long it takes. Because I want to reach my reading goals. Because I want to read as many books. And a lot of people will kind of relate that to being like the fast fashion of books. That's not the reason. I am probably unhealthily aware of the fact that we have a certain amount of days on this planet, and there are millions and billions of books in the world. And I'm deathly aware that I will leave this planet one day with books still on my TBR, and that petrifies me. Like, it keeps me awake at night, and I get so nervous about it. So that's kind of something that I really, really want to do. I just want to think more deeply about these books, and I want to be more aware of what I'm reading and take it in a little bit more, and, you know, be mindful. So yeah, I think that's my first goal, and some people probably already do that, and that's great. I also really want to read outside of my comfort zone. I read a lot of translated fiction, but I tend to go back to the same authors in the same style. So I really want to read more translated fiction from around the world. And then I also want to kind of really make a point of diversifying my genres. So maybe slipping more non-fiction. I'm not a self-help girly, but there's a lot of kind of non-fiction books out there that don't fall into that category that I would love to start reading about, and kind of widening my horizons that way. I really like that kind of philosophical style. So if you have any kind of life-changing philosophical book recs, please do drop those in the comments. I also want to improve who I follow, content creators I follow. This year I've done a really, really, really good job on that. I am following a lot more creators from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, different kind of orientations, and that in and of itself has diversified my reading. And I want to take that one step further, and I would really, really like my feed to be kind of 50-50, 50% of people who look and talk and think like me, and 50% of people who don't. And then maybe even change that until it's less and less, because do I really need 1,000 more people who look and think like me to back up what I think and to agree with me? And you know, I feel like that's one of the best things about the reading community, is being able to dive into different people's opinions and having these discussions and figuring out why we think different things about different things. And I think the first step in that, and probably the most important step in that, is who you associate yourself with. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that I really, really want to do in 2026 to become a better reader. I've also heard of this challenge that's a bit like setting yourself a curriculum, so I'm going to have a look into that, and maybe I'll come back and tell you about that, and we can go from there. But that is what I want to do, and I think there are some nice kind of bookish goals to have. I have got 2 more video ideas. One is going to be like a 2026 book content creator bucket list, where I will sit down and do a far more edited, back to normal video. And then another one is going to be more like my personal goals, because I am nothing if not ambitious, and I'm constantly looking for ways to improve. So stay tuned for those. Those will come later in the month. But thank you so much if you made it, what are we at? 7 odd minutes in, unedited. And I feel like this was quite a nice way to film, actually, because it feels really authentic and real, and you can see how my brain goes off on a bit of a tangent, and there's probably noises in the background and all of that, but we're all just people at the end of the day, and sometimes the editing is what puts you off. So if editing is putting you off creating content, just remember that not editing is also an option, and we'll see how this goes.